This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord, Yahweh, is darkness and not light. Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord, Yahweh, be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? Shalom, Kahaloyam Wawad, like Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakahawadash. Double honors are due unto the venerable apostles of the great millstone, along with the elders who rule well. Salutations, peace, and blessings to the Most High Powers elect. I'm Shamar Ahmath, back with another video, prophecy in short. All right, this time going into how the day of the Lord is going to be dark, man, and literal darkness is coming to Babylon, man. All right, yes, a bunch of spiritual darkness is here already, but that's going to get worse. All right, and as the power grids continue to become more and more stressed out, okay, and resources become more and more scarce, hey, the lights are going to go out, man. All right, now I'll mention spiritual darkness. Yeah, because the time of the day of the Lord, which we're headed into, man, hey, it's going to be physically dark and spiritually dark, man. And again, we're already in a time of gross darkness here spiritually. Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 1, arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee. For behold, verse 2, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. And that's actually gross darkness is covering mainly our people, man. The 2/3, because that's who we're concerned with. I mean, you heathen and Esau, Edom, especially the so-called white man, y'all are already in darkness. But 2/3 of our people, man, are in gross darkness right now, man. 2/3 you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners, you're in gross darkness right now, man, spiritually speaking. All right, and it's only gonna get worse, man. You're gonna wax worse and worse, okay, as we get closer and closer to Yahweh Shai's return, man. All right, it says, but the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right, so yeah, man, it's physically gonna get dark. All right, literally. All right, and spiritually, the darkness is gonna wax, worse and worse, man. All right, so here is a quick article off of energysupply.news. Tsunami of electricity shutoffs coming for millions of Americans behind in their utility payments thanks to Biden inflation. Okay, yeah, man, and this is being systematically done by Amalek. All right, the chief tribe of Esau, Edom, all right, the Jewish national bankers, they're shutting America down, man. Okay, they're shutting this place down, pursuant to their Georgia Guidestones, okay, and also their Agenda 2030, man. Okay, where they want to huddle, the remaining of you sheeple, into smart cities, so they're gonna be cutting off power, grids are gonna be taken out, and they can blame that on Russia or China, and and they might have something to do with it, but ultimately, this is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua turning the lights off on this place, man. All right. And this is judgment from on high. All right, and the Most High is through this place, man. All right, we're in the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's visitation, man. He's visiting Babylon and the rest of this earth. Okay, so we'll read a little bit of this and get some scriptures. Basically, man, America's finished, man. All right, you people are done. All right. The American economy, under the leadership of the country's dementia president, as well as the Democrat-controlled Congress, is abysmal. Well, right away, what jumps out at you is, this has nothing to do with Republican versus Democrat. That's Republican. That whole Republican versus Democrat, construct is false, man. That they're all it is two different wings of the same foul bird, man. Okay, your Congress is bought and paid for, by Amalek. All right. So, anyway, those of you still caught up with this Republican versus Democrat mindset, you're going to be destroyed, man. And you 2/3, you ought to be fucking ashamed of yourselves for voting for this pedophile creep, First it was that faggot Hamite in 2008, all right? And now, and hey, and in 2020, it's just pedo, man. It's creep. That's your leader, man. You still trusting in this place. Hold on. You still trusting in this place, man. Keep on trusting in this place, man. And see what happens. Isaiah chapter 31. In verse 1, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. You 2/3, man, that's what y'all are doing, man. You're not looking unto the Holy One of Israel, man. All right, the Quadash one of Yasharallah, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You're not seeking the Lord. You're trusting in this spiritual Sodom and Egypt, man. The land of your captivity. You're trusting in these devils, all right, to take care of you, and they're not going to, man. And, hey, look at what's happening in Jackson, Mississippi. I was reading an article earlier today, which today is August 31st, 2022, going into the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, Jackson, Mississippi is since the Great White Flight, so-called, in the 70s. It's 82% Judah, man, in Jackson. And many of you are counting on FEMA, okay, to bring you water, man. Instead of looking to what happens when they don't bring you water? What happens when the lights go out? Who are you going to look to? You 2/3, you're going to look to Esau. All right, you're going to trust in this system. Instead of looking to the Holy One of Yasharallah, the Quadash one of Yasharallah. Because who do you think this is going to impact the most? All these shutoffs. Mostly it's going to be Jake, man. Yeah, you're going to have Esau, feeling it too. But, this is mostly going to impact you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, man. Okay? And you Israelite foreigners too. Okay? Hey. Keep on trusting in this place, man. Inflation has risen to 40-year highs as food, gasoline, diesel fuel, and energy prices have all skyrocketed. Worse, Democrats continue to pour trillions of dollars into the already overheated economy, which is making inflation worse. For months, tens of millions of Americans have seen their household budgets collapse as tax breaks and pay raises they obtained during the Trump, I guess that's supposed to say during the Trump era, were eaten up, and then some by Biden inflation. More and more purchases have been made on credit, leading to a dramatic rise in credit card debt. As noted by the Washington Post, it goes on to talk about credit card debt. He said credit card debt surged in the United States from April through June as Americans borrowed billions of dollars to continue spending in the face of growing inflation, according to a Tuesday report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. And of course, the rising cost of electricity is being driven by Biden's war on fossil fuels, as the cost of oil, natural gas, and coal at power electric plants rise. So too has the price of a kilowatt hour. Man, the lights are going out in Babylon, man. Period. All right. And the only way to get them, you're going to be able to get them turned back on Okay, is to ultimately bow your knee to the image of Baal, man. Okay, and take that MOTB. But it's gonna get a day of the Lord's darkness and not light, man. It's fixing to get brutal out here, you know. And when the power goes out, man, and it's 100 degrees, tempers rise, people are on edge, because we're still, we're the end, but we're still in, especially where I am down here in the southeast, in South Carolina, man. It's still 90 degrees down here. So what happens when the power goes out, man? Gonna have It's gonna be chaotic out here, man. All part of the day of the Lord. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 14, the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath. Okay? Christians out here talking about, Jesus coming back. Nah, man. Hey, when he comes back, it's going to be, he's only delivering his elect, man. Everyone else is fixing to be destroyed. All right? But even before he comes back, before Yahushua comes back, because Jesus don't exist, before Yahushua comes back, millions upon millions are going to perish, man. All right? It says, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness. Okay? What are we talking about here? Electricity shutoffs, man. It says a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. A day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men. They shall walk like blind men because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. Yeah, your resources, although it's not a bad thing to have resources, if you can stock up on some food and, and water, that's a good thing. Have some things to barter with, that's not bad. But see, your resources won't deliver you, man. All right, ultimately, if Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is not on your side, you can have all the resources, physical resources out there, all right, and still be taken out, man. It says, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Yeah, man. There's going to be a war for resources, man. Just, again, going back to that article I was reading about the water situation in Jackson. There's going to be resource wars, man. People are going to be fighting for water, fighting for food, fighting for weapons, Let's see, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6. In verse 22, and it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. We got caught a glimpse of that in 2020, with the scamdemic, with the shutdowns. And more shutdowns are coming, man. All right? It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So, electricity is going to be off. Water is going to be off. It's not going to be any more 911. It's not going to be any more SNAP or EBT. So there's going to be again, there's going to be rioting in the streets, man. Because let's face it, when you wake up in the morning, you go to turn on a light switch. I mean, you take that for granted, man. We all have. Or when you turn your water on, you expect water to come out. These things that you can take for granted, man. Whether these things are fixing to be, no more. I mean, we keying on the on the day of the Lord being dark, but just throwing this in there, man. Resources are fixing to be scarce out here. Not just electricity, but other but gasoline, food, water, all part of the day of the Lord, man. It's gonna be dark out here, and the only ones who are gonna be able to overcome, okay, and endure are the elect, beginning with the 144,000 men from the 12 tribes. All right, his servants, the prophets. They're true prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and that remnant, the men, women, and children who believed this testimony, who believed our report pursuant to Isaiah, the 53rd chapter, who have believed our report. All right, the elect. All right. Yeah, dark times are coming. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right. So if you're one of the Lord's people and you haven't done so already, you got to repent, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's like it is at hand. All right. Lord willing, I don't want to zot you as edified by this quick lesson. And with that, I want to say shalom.